Hey, I'm Tucker.
Hey, I'm Wes. We are Teddy's Brewhouse.
Welcome to Teddy's. So how we came into business was one night we were sitting over at Wes's ranch and we were sipping on a really nice Czech lager.
Czech lager.
Yeah, Czech lager that he had made. And about after the fifth one, we decided we were going to open a brewery. And we had a building, and it has a backstory. It's one of the oldest gun stores in Texas. The Weekly Watson gun and hardware store was established in 1876. And then they moved over to this building in 1900, but it was built in 1888. And we did a historic preservation on the property. It had been sitting here vacant since 2014, if I recall. And then we decided to do a historic renovation and take Wes's beer to the next level. And our moniker is Teddy's Brewhouse, named after Theodore Roosevelt. And just because he's an iconic figure, and we just thought it really fit the time period. And
yeah, people always ask that about, where did you get Teddy's? Are you Teddy? Where did Teddy come from? And Teddy, we just wanted to pick a piece of Americana, an icon out of history that was just an interesting character, and couldn't find a more interesting character than that.
We went and toured a lot of breweries. I mean, we had kind of dabbled in it as hobbyists, drinking the beers and seeing what the mouthfeels were like and what we enjoyed. And we decided that we just wanted to start off with 6 or 7 base beers, things that we like, and get Brownwood, where we're established, to understand what a microbrewery is and what craft beer is, develop a palate outside of things like Miller Lite and Budweiser. Yeah.
And there's a lot of that going on as well too.
Yeah.
A lot of education for the community. If you're in a community where they're not used to craft beer and having that available, you know, we're 3 hours from Austin, 2.5 to Fort Worth. So to get craft beer, you had to make a hike. And we just wanted to make something, bring some beers from around the world, some really cool flavors that people have never experienced before. If just plain macro lagers is all you've ever had, we try to bring you the original. If it's a Hefeweizen, I want it to be like it came off the banks of the Danube. No. If it's an Irish beer, I want to make it original to what that was, and as pure and perfect as we can to that. What we set up with here, when we started building our tap wall, we have 15 taps, and those are the V10s, I believe, V110s, which is an amazing component for us. We have a lot of staff that comes in that has never poured a beer before. So for them to come in and be able to pour the tap, throttle that forward or back, it kind of makes me kind of lazy when I keg beers, because even if it's wrong, you can fix it right there at the tap. If it's a little heavy on the carb, you just back it off. If it's a little slow, speed it up. So that has been a game changer for us. I know the old taps and the old style and the other brands, when you open it up, it's on or off, and that's it. So this is a cool part. So 15 of those are the adjustable 110s, and then we have the V3Ns, I think. Those are the stout taps. So I wanted to serve my stout, my oatmeal stout, on nitro. That was important for me. I wanted to make that original, and it changes the flavor and the feel of it as well. So with the nitro, we got the separate tap, and they work amazingly. I
call them beer savers. I mean,
they really are.
Yeah, I mean, they really are. I've owned a sports bar in Fort Worth for several years called the Ale House, and we served 63 beers out of there. But we didn't have a tap system like this back then. This was back in the mid-90s. And when you've got a novice up there at the tap, it really does save that beer. And we work hard to produce that beer. And so we don't want to have a lot of waste. So that's the one benefit I love about it. And then the ease of being able to show a novice how to pour beer properly. And we all know that sitting there watching a bunch of foam pour out of a glass is not a good thing.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that we really, really like about it, being able to dial that in. And nights when we're slammed, that's when they really become helpful. I mean, we can adjust that, leave a few pints up there, start pouring multiple beers, get them out on the bar and go. So they have a very important use for what we do here.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So we ended up setting a double tap system. Ours is right off of the cold room, so we're serving out of kegs 3 feet away, 4 feet away. So we've got a very short draw. But that's what's amazing with that is we have the long shanks that are on those. They go straight into the cold room. The beer never gets warm, so it never foams. And it's just an easy pour. So if you're ever down in Brownwood, Texas, come by and see us. We'd be happy to show you around.
Welcome to Teddy's.